Alright, it's day number 64 of my talk in front of the camera, trying to enhance my ability to speak English and improve my colloquial English. So today I'm going to talk about books, and the topic will be reading, ebooks, and paper books. So let's just get started because I'm tired of talking about this challenge 100 days that I'm done, and I don't really want to continue with that. I don't know what's going on to me uh, for the past several days, but I feel too lazy, like I don't want to do anything. I don't know what's the reason, to be honest, but I have to fix it somehow. So let's get started. Let's talk about reading habits. Which do you prefer, ebooks or paper books? To be honest, I rather prefer to read the paper book because it's absolutely another feeling. And when you are able to hold your book, to flip the papers, it feels otherwise in comparison to digital books. So I would like really to read more paper books, but to be honest, by the way, I'm reading more digital books. I mean, I read more digital books over the paper books because usually it's hard to find paper books that I need, especially in my case, because I can find in French and in English, but I would like to read in Ukrainian or in Russian to understand everything that I'm reading about, because usually when I pick up some book to read, I want to understand the philosophy or the idea of the book, but in English it's pretty hard, a lot of unknown words. So yeah, I just prefer to read like paper books, but currently I'm reading more digital books. Alright, when do you usually read online? What does it mean when? Like every time when I want to read something, I pick up my tablet or my phone and I'm reading. Even today I spent, I guess, a bit less than an hour, but I read a book, and I did it online, due to my phone. So it depends on my mood. Sometimes I'm forgotten to read some books that I started, but over the past week I can say that I'm reading enough. And like if the question is when, I don't know, from time to time. Alright, will you read more online in the future? No, I think that if I will be able to get fluency in English, to understand movies, to understand books, I'd rather prefer to read paper books in English, for example. And I want to get rid of reading online because it's convenient that you always have only your phone and you can pick up it and read, but I don't really like it. I really prefer holding the book and reading when there are no different options except reading the book, because when you hold your phone you can I don't know, you may open something else when you're tired of reading, or when you even not tired of reading, when you got notification and you switched your attention, and that's not really cool. But when you're using paper books, it's impossible to happen such thing. So yeah, paper books, I would like to read more paper books over online. Alright, do you think paper books will disappear in the future? No, I don't think so, because still until nowadays it isn't necessary, but anyway, people continue using it, and Even, for example, we can guess that in the future, in schools, paper books will be disappeared, but it doesn't mean that nobody is gonna use it. You know, I mean, for example, in my case, as it describes, I can find each book for several minutes, in several minutes, just by picking up my phone, for example. But anyway, I just prefer to read paper books because it's different feelings, and I know you kinda can dive into the book otherwise when you are reading it online. Um, then when you just open your tablet, for example, application and read some book. So I don't think that it will disappear, to be honest, in the future, and I think it won't be so relevant as today. But anyway, it will have some demand. Alright, let's move next. And part two, describe a book that you felt a strong, that you left a strong impression on you. You should say what the book was when you read it, what it was about, and explain why it felt such a strong impression on you. Alright, as always, I'm going to talk about the book by Dale Carnegie, How to Influence People and Make Friends. I guess it's a great basic book that each person must read in his life because it says about communication with other people, about some of basic psychology, and I guess to live in a normal society without strange people with some mental diseases, we should read it and understand how people's mindset works and basic human psychology. You know what I mean? And this book opens all this and pretty understandable with good examples. Uh, with good examples, and I really like it. So I read it 2 times, I guess. I don't know, I just said about it everything in my past video about books, but I'm just repeating this information that I bought in English this book, but I know over the past 2 weeks I didn't touch it probably because I focused myself to read English in another way, not by reading book, because when you read the book in English and you don't understand a lot of words, you have to translate them. It's so boring, I swear. So of course I want to continue reading it in English, but anyway, um, I don't do it now. But it's the book that I would recommend to anyone for real. So let's go next. Let's talk more about reading formats and the future of books. Alright, what the advantages and disadvantages of reading online? Well, there are more advantages even, I guess, because it's so ubiquitous. No matter where you are, you just need connection to internet and you need some gadget. Then you are just opening Google or something like this and looking for the book, and you can download it on your phone. And each book is access to you, and it's a great ability to enrich your mindset, to absorb different information, and you don't need to buy anything, you don't need to go anywhere to buy it. So it's a really huge advantage, and this advantage is it's really cool, but there are the only disadvantages that it's an online book, digital material, and it feels not so cool as paper book. So yeah, it's the only disadvantage in my opinion, but generally it's really more convenient when you can read online because no matter what's going on, you don't need to spend any funds, you don't need to put any efforts. You just downloaded the book and you're able to read it instantly. Alright, why do some people prefer paper books even today? As I mentioned, me as a person who prefers paper books over the digital ones, um, I could say that the feeling when you can smell the book, when you can hold this paper, flip these papers, when you can highlight something that you're interested in, all these things make this process really special and more interesting. So also you can't be distracted by notifications as you know, and something like this. So that's why I'm sure that mostly people uh, who like who likes to read books, they also prefer paper ones. All right, do young people read as much as older generation? Um, I don't know. To be honest, in this case, it really depends on the person because I know some young people who reads a lot. I know some old people who reads a lot, but it doesn't mean that one of those generations reads more. For example, when I was a child, I didn't like to read at all, but now I can say that I'm an enjoyer of reading. But anyway, it's cool sometimes, and I realize that it's important for me. So I'm trying not to implement it as habit in my daily agenda, and I guess when you become older, you become your mindset a bit change. Is changing over the years, and as a result, you realize that probably you need even to read something to find books that are interesting. Yeah, books that are interesting to you because for me, the books that I had to read in my childhood, they weren't really interested to me, and now I'm looking for books that I'm reading and I'm getting some satisfaction. Kinda, those books are captivating. So, and I like to do it. So, I guess probably older generation tend to read more, but at the same time, a lot of young people also, I guess, that reads books. So yeah, mainly it depends on the person, 100%. All right, what role should schools play in encouraging reading habits? Mm, I think that they might that you know the schools, they shouldn't force children to read, because when the children don't want to read something, it means that it isn't interesting for him. When you force him, uh, it just makes it process. He just hates this process, and as a result, even when he will be older, he wouldn't read because it's kind of mental disease, and he associated as something that he don't like his brain when when it hears about books that you must read it. It associates with negative emotions, and he doesn't want to do it. So to encourage, they have to find special approach to each student to uh, figure out what kind of books does the kid prefer, and only then propose him something to read, you know. And it will be the best approach, I guess, because nowadays just there are some books you have to read it. Nobody asks you what do you like, do you want to read it? No, you have to do it. And it doesn't encourage, to be honest. At least it didn't encourage me in my school time. Alright, do you think libraries are still important in the digital ages? I don't really think so, because in my case I'm not interested in libraries at all, and even though I like to read paper books, I don't want to visit libraries and go there to read, but I guess there are some enjoyers, so I don't think that there's necessity to build more libraries. I guess that we should just maintain those libraries that we have, and we don't really need to allocate a lot of funds. Like for the government, it's not important to allocate some funds to build new libraries, because it isn't relevant nowadays, in my opinion. If you want to read paper book, you can buy it. It doesn't cost a lot of money, or you can find it in digital version and what? Read it like this. So no, I don't think that libraries are relevant in digital age, and I don't think that it's essential. Yeah, I'm so sorry if someone is enjoyer of libraries, but it's just my opinion. So that's all for today. Thanks if someone watched it, and see you next time.